Maybe you guys could test this all out before I get here in the morning, so we could just go Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission morning class. Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vidangstam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangsha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo Jai Shri Caitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. This is the Madhya Lila, the 5th volume, chapter 24. The explanations of the Atma Rama verse. Continuing. We are now reading text number 223. 223. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya
Shri Chaitanya
Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, text 223. Cha Shabde Avachaye Artakahayar Bhatto Bhiksham Atagang Chanaya Jaiche Prakar. The word cha can also present a secondary thing to be done at the same time. We read this yesterday, but this is a new subject, so I'm just repeating this one. This way of understanding the word cha is called anvachaye. An example is, O brahmachari, go out to collect alms and at the same time bring in the cows. So we would say, O brahmachari, go out and collect alms and bring in the cows. So cha also means and, or at the same time. Krishna manane muni krishna sarvada bhajai atma rama api bhaje gona artakai. Saintly persons who are always meditating upon Krishna are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. The Atmaramas are also engaged in the Lord's service. This is the indirect purport, or import. That is the indirect purport. So cha means at the same time. The anvachaye meaning of the word cha indicates that between the two words compounded by the word cha, one is given more importance and the other is considered subordinate. For example, O brahmachari, please go out and collect alms and at the same time bring in the cows. In this statement, the collection of alms is the first thing, the first importance, and the second business of collecting the cows is subordinate. Similarly, one who always meditates upon Krishna is mainly a devotee of Krishna engaged in his devotional service, and other Atmaramas are subordinate in devotional service. Cha evarte munaya eva krishnera bhajai. Atma Rama api api garha artakai. The word cha can also be used to indicate the certainty that only saintly persons are engaged in rendering devotional service to Krishna. In the combination Atma Rama Api, Api is used in the sense of censure. That's very interesting. So the word cha can also be used to indicate the certainty that only saintly persons are engaged in rendering devotional service. So those ones who are constantly meditating on Krishna and the Atmaramas, certainly all saintly persons are engaged in the service of Krishna. And in the combination of Atmarama Api, Api is used in the sense of censure. So meaning, censure means not that. Nirgrantahanya e dunhara visheshana arta arta shuna jaiche sadhura sangama. I'm so sorry. The word nirgranta can be taken as an adjective modifying Muni and Atmarama. There is another meaning which you may hear from me, indicating association with a devotee. Now I shall explain how it is that through the association of devotees, even a nirgranta can become a devotee. Nirgranta. I'm sorry. So nirgranta, if we look back, it means somebody who doesn't have anything. But I won't be able to find it really quickly. So I'm going to go back to the Atmarama verse itself. Nirgranta, without interest in any material desire. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So the word nirgranta can be taken as an adjective modifying Muni and Atmarama. So a nirgranta Atmarama or nirgranta Muni, meaning that person, that Muni or that Atmarama who has no material desires. There is another meaning which you may hear from me, indicating association with a devotee. Now I shall explain how it is that through the association of devotees, even a nirgranta can become a devotee. No material desires is a negative thing. Meaning, don't have this, but they can also have something positive. Nirgranta shabde kahe tabe vyada nirdana sadhu sange sehakare Shri Krishna bhajana. The word nirgranta, when combined with api, used in the sense of certainty, indicates a person who is a hunter by profession or who is very poor. So that was the second thing, having no material desires. But nirgranta also means, and that's the one I was remembering, someone who doesn't have anything. It means no material desires, but it can also mean someone who's very poor or who is a hunter. Nonetheless, when a person associates with a great devotee like Narada, he engages in Lord Krishna's devotional service, even if he's a hunter or an otherwise impoverished person. When it is combined with api, then that makes that kind of indication. Krishna Ramascha eva hai Krishna manana vyadahanya haya puja bhagavato dhamma. The words Krishna Ramascha refer to one's refers to one who takes pleasure in thinking of Krishna. Rama means pleasure or enjoyment. So Krishna Ramas refers to someone whose joy is in Krishna, remembering Krishna. Even though such a person may be a hunter, he is still worshipable and is the best of devotees. Oh, good, we're going to hear this story. This is a story of Murari. Have you ever heard it? So this is a very famous story, very beautiful story. And I think Mahaprabhu, so Mahaprabhu was going to tell this story, and this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is a story about a hunter. So Nigrandapi, that type of person who is so low, so bereft of anything. He's become a hunter, very low type of person. And so how he became such a great devotee. I shall now, Eka Bhakta Vyadera Kata Shuna Savadane Chaha Haite Hai Sat Sangha Mahimara Gyane. I shall now narrate the story of how a hunter became a great devotee by the association of such an exalted personality as Narada Muni. From this story, one can understand the greatness of association with pure devotees. Akadina Srinarda Deki Narayana Triveni Snane Prayaga Karila Gamana. Once upon a time, the great saint Narada, after visiting Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha, so Narada Muni is free to come and go anywhere he likes, went to Prayag to bathe at the confluence of the three rivers, the Ganges, the Jamuna, and the Saraswati. The great Saint Narada is so liberated that he can go to the Vaikuntha planets to see Narayan and then immediately come to this planet in the material world to go to Prayag to bathe in the confluence of the three rivers. The word Triveni refers to a confluence of three rivers. The confluence is still visited by many hundreds of thousands of people who go there to bathe, especially during the Magh Mela, which occurs during the month of January. A liberated person who has no material body can go anywhere and everywhere. Therefore, a living entity is called Sarvaga, which indicates that he can go anywhere and everywhere in his natural position. Presently, scientists are trying to go to other planets, but due to their material bodies, they are not free to move at all. However, when one is situated in his original spiritual body, he can move anywhere and everywhere without difficulty. So someone a few weeks ago was complaining to me about the lack of justice in the world. You know, it's unjust. There's this and that, and they're fighting to bring justice. And I was thinking about this, because you can, in the heavenly planets, there's no social unrest. You know, there's no unfairness and all this kind of thing. But you have to become qualified for that environment. The environment we're in is the environment which we are qualified to be in. So there's no point in lamenting and getting all worked up about it. This is where we are, and this is where our lessons are also. But when one has a spiritual body, he's not restricted in any way whatsoever. He's already transcendental to the mundane world, and he can travel anywhere and everywhere. Is that clear? That's clear, right? Within this material world, there's a planet called Siddhaloka, whose inhabitants can go from one planet to another without the aid of a machine or a space rocket. In the material world, every planet has a specific advantage, vibhuti binna. In the spiritual world, however, all the planets and their inhabitants are composed of spiritual energy. Because there are no material impediments, it is said that everything in the spiritual world is one in that sense. Any questions about any of that? We have to understand all these things carefully. If we're in a certain situation, there's a reason for that. It is a place where we are to be adjusted. And, certain things have to be dealt with and within our own self. But we keep trying to change the environment that is actually the environment which is perfect for our education and upliftment. So there's no point. First of all, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Because the environment has come to us with a very particular purpose. And the universal laws cannot be adjusted by our little protests. Vanapate deke mriga ache bhume padi, panavidha bhagna pada kari dadda padi. Narada Muni saw that a deer was lying on the path through the forest, and that it was pierced by an arrow. It had broken legs and was twisting due to much pain. Arakata dure akadeke natsukara, taiche vidya bhagna pada kare dadda pada. Farther ahead, Narada Muni saw a boar pierced by an arrow. Its legs were also broken, and it was twisting in pain. It's horrible. So this is a very interesting story. We'll talk much more about it later. Aiche eka shashaka deki arakata dure, jivera duka deki narada vyakula antare. When he went farther, he saw a rabbit who was also suffering. Narada Muni was greatly pained at heart to see living entities suffer so. Katadure deke vyada vrikshe untahanya, mrigamari bare ache bana judia. When Narada Muni advanced further, he saw a hunter behind a tree. This hunter was holding arrows and he was ready to kill more animals. Shyama varna rakta netra mahabhayankara, dhanurbana haste jena jamadandadara. The hunter's body was blackish. He had reddish eyes and he appeared very fierce. It was as if the superintendent of death, Yamaraj, were standing there with a bow and arrow in his hands. Patachari Naradatara Nikate Chalila, Narade Dieki Mriga Shaba Palanya Gela. When Narada Muni left the forest path and went to the hunter, all the animals immediately saw him and ran away. Krudahanya Vyadatare Galidite Chai, Narda Prabhave Mukhe Gali Nahiyai. When all the animals fled, the hunter wanted to chastise Narada with abusive language. But due to Narada's presence, he could not utter anything abusive. He was very angry. You scared all the animals away. Now I'm going to... But because Narada's presence was so beautiful and wondrous, he couldn't say anything. Gosai prayana patachadi kene aila, toma deki mora lakshya mriga palaila. The hunter addressed Narada Muni, O Goswami, O great saintly person, why have you left the general path through the forest to come to me? Simply by seeing you, all the animals I was hunting have now fled. Narada kahe patabule ailana puchite, mane eka shamshaya hayataha kandaite. Narada Muni replied, leaving the path, I have come to you to settle a doubt that is within my mind. So I have a question. Pate je shukara mriga jani tomara haya vyada kahi je kaha seita nischaya. I was wondering whether all the boars and other animals that are half killed belong to you. The hunter replied, yes, what you're saying is so. Narada kahe chari jive mara tumi bana Arda mara kara kene na lao parana. Narada Muni then inquired, why did you not kill the animals completely? Why did you half kill them by piercing their bodies with arrows? Vyarakahe shuna gosai mrigari mora nama pitara shikshate amikari aiche kama. The hunter replied, my dear saintly person, my name is Mrigari, enemy of the animals. My father has taught me to kill them in this way. Ardamara jiva jadi dadbhada kare tabe ta anandamora badaye antare. When I see half-killed animals suffer, I feel great pleasure. Narada kahe ekavastu magi tomarastane vyada kahe mrigadi laha jai tomaramane. Narada Muni then told the hunter, I have one thing to beg of you. The hunter replied, you may take whatever animals or anything else you might like. So even though he was a hunter, that culture was everywhere, that if a saintly person asks you for something, you give it. So he said, yes, you can take anything you want. Mrigachala chaha jadi aishamoragare jay chaha taha diva mriga vyagrambare. I have many skins. If you would like them, I should give you either a deer skin or a tiger skin. Nardakahe iha ami kichunahi chahi Ara ekadana ami magito matani. Narada Muni said, I do not want any of the skins. I am asking only one thing from you in charity. Kali haite tumije mrigadi mariba pratame mariba ardamarana kariba. I beg you that from this day on, you will kill animals completely and not leave them half dead. When I first read this story, I was really young, and I thought, that surprised me. I thought Narada would say, don't kill animals anymore. But he's going in steps. Vyadakahe kibadana magila amare arda marila kibahai taha kahamore. Santa replied, my dear sir, what are you asking of me? What is wrong with the animals lying there half killed? Will you please explain this to me? Nardakahe arda marila jivapaya vyata Jive dukkha dite chaktomara haibe aiche avasta. Narada Muni replied, if you leave the animals half dead, you are purposefully giving them pain. Therefore, you will have to suffer in retaliation. So this is a difference. A hunter may kill animals because that's the only thing he knows how to live. Of course, there is also a reaction for that. But all this extra pain and suffering, there is nothing that will, you have no excuse for that. This is an authoritative statement given by the greatest authority, Narada Muni. If one gives another living entity unnecessary pain, one will certainly be punished by the laws of nature with a similar pain. Although the hunter Mrigari was uncivilized, he still had to suffer the results of his sinful activities. However, if a civilized man kills animals regularly in a slaughterhouse to maintain his so-called civilization, using scientific methods and machines, to kill animals, one cannot even estimate the suffering waiting for him. So-called civilized people consider themselves very advanced in education, but they do not know about the stringent laws of nature. According to nature's law, it is a life for a life. We can hardly imagine the suffering of one who maintains a slaughterhouse. He endures suffering not only in this life, but in the next life also. It is said that a hunter, murderer, or killer is advised not to live and not to die. Do you know this story? The one saintly person was traveling around, and he met a brahmachari, a celibate brahmachari doing austerities and so on. Not a Vaishnava, but some, doing hard life austerity. And Narada said to him, you may die. You've done so much good. You can just die now and go to your good destination. And then he came to a prince who's just enjoying life so much. And he said, you may live. Because when you die, you have so much sinful reaction to all your indulgence. So many debts to pay. Then he went to a hunter, a man who kills animals for a living. He said, don't die, don't live. Don't die and don't live. Living is hell and dying is hell for you. And then he went to a Vaishnava. He said, you can live or die. Doesn't matter. Your life is wonderful. Your death is wonderful. If he lives, he accumulates even more sins, which bring about more suffering in the future life. He is not advised to die because his dying means he immediately begins to endure more suffering. Therefore, he's not advised to live or to die. Haribol. Vyada tumi jiva mora alpa aparada tomara. Kadarta nadia mara e papa apara. Narada Muni continued, my dear hunter, your business is killing animals. That is a slight offense on your part. But when you consciously give them unnecessary pain by leaving them half dead, you incur very great sins. So, he doesn't know any other way to maintain his body. It is a sinful life, no doubt, but nothing compared to how he's killing them. That is unbearably terrible. Kandartiya tumijata marila jivere, tarataiche toma maribe janmantare. And Prabhupada always told us, now they're buying meat in the supermarket. It's already killed for them. But if they go out hunting, it's less sinful. To take, if you have no other way to live, then if you have to do that, then you go and do it yourself. It's all packaged up like a little nothing. They don't even know what it is practically. But for young people anyway. But anyway, that's just a side thing Prabhupada used to tell us. Kadartiya tumi jata marila jivere, tarataiche toma maribe janma janmantare. Narada Muni continued, all the animals that you have killed and given unnecessary pain will kill you one after another in your next life and in life after life. You are one man, killing, murdering so many animals in such a vicious way. Every single one of them will do that to you. This is another authoritative statement made by the great sage Narada. Those who kill animals and give them unnecessary pain, as people do in slaughterhouses, will be killed in a similar way in the next life and in many lives to come. And in the case of cows, if anyone kills a cow, then they will be slaughtered for every hair on every cow. Their future is just basically hellish for a long, long time. Huh?
Sorry, it's a stupid question. It's if they kill the cow or they eat the cow?
Both.
Okay, I'm telling my dad.
Yeah. Anybody who has anything to do with that will suffer that fate. One can never be excused from such an offense. If one kills many thousands of animals in a professional way, so that other people can purchase the meat to eat, one must be ready to be killed in a similar way in his next life, after life, after life. There are many rascals who violate their own religious principles. According to Judeo-Christian scriptures, it is clearly said, "Thou shalt not kill," nonetheless giving all kinds of excuses. Even the heads of religions indulge in killing animals while trying to pass as saintly persons. It's right in the Bible. Not just that. It says anyone who kills an animal is the same guilty as killing a child.
My little brother, he goes to a Christian church, and he was telling me that in their church, they don't believe that there are spirit souls within the animals.
Just made that up.
Yeah.
They used to know that. And then they had a big meeting. This person called Saint Augustine was in on that meeting. And then they decided that animals don't have souls.
Yeah.
They don't have any clue about what a soul is. No clue at all. When I was a kid, we had religion classes. And every morning, everyone had a religion class. And they used to talk about the soul, and they'd make this little circle on the board. Like you have a soul. Like there's this thing that you have. It's called the soul. And it's like, you don't want to put any sins on your soul. Like what do? You go and show your soul after you die. If it's pretty clean, then you get, but who are you? The body's in the ground. It's like no real thinking process going on in there.
This was in Canada?
Yeah. Okay, we've gone a little over time. This mockery and hypocrisy within human society can bring about unlimited calamities. Therefore, occasionally there are great wars. Masses of such people go out to battlefields and kill themselves. Presently, they have discovered the atomic bomb, which is simply waiting to be used for wholesale destruction. If people want to be saved from the killing business, life after life, they must take to Krishna consciousness and cease all sinful activity. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness recommends that everyone abandon meat-eating, illicit sex, intoxication, and gambling. When one gives up these sinful activities, he can understand Krishna and take to Krishna consciousness. We therefore request everyone to abandon sinful activity and chant the Hare Krishna mantra. In this way, people can save themselves from repeated birth and death and from being killed like the animals in slaughterhouses. Very dark. Narada Sangha, oh yes, so I should stop here, even though there's a lot more to this story, but we can do that later because it's now quite late.
After hearing that, who would become a devotee? after hearing all of that, all the consequences, who wouldn't become a devotee?
Yeah. They don't want to hear it. That's how strong the tongue is. They get a taste for something. And they cannot hear anything that's going to prevent them from getting what they want to eat. The tongue is so inimical if we can't control it. People do so many things. Hare Krishna. And most people would never be able to go to a slaughterhouse. Most people would never be able to do it. They just couldn't stand that. It would be too horrible.
Yeah, I have this. My brother's friend, when they came over my house, one of his friends started talking with me, and he mentioned his older brother, and how he went vegan. And he mentioned that they went to their grandmother's home, and she had a whole farm of like chickens and all this. And their grandmother asked them, which one's your favorite chicken? Like, and then, oh, that one. And then she started plucking its feathers and just chopped off its head right in front of them. And his big brother was just like, he completely scarred after that, and he went vegetarian immediately after that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think many of us could really handle seeing that.
It's horrible thing.
Yeah.
Because a symptom of the human consciousness is, you might as well keep it because sometimes you have some questions, but the symptom of human consciousness is feeling the pain of others. So there are many who come to the human body, but not human consciousness. If you have a human body, you have that potential to develop human consciousness, if you don't already have it. But many are not. I mean, to feel the pain of another person, that is a symptom of human. And actually, one time Srila Gurudev was there was a natural, we call it nature show, and they wanted to show it to Gurudev, and he's very interested about it. And it showed a lioness, female lion, chasing a deer. And she was about to pounce on the deer when she saw that there was a baby deer running next to her. And it showed the look on the lioness's face, and she stopped running. And Gurudev said, that's why the lion is the king of the jungle, because they have that almost human consciousness. A lion becomes, a soul in a lion body becomes a human in the next life, in the mode of passion. A cow becomes a human also, in the mode of goodness. And then monkey in the mode of ignorance. You can see groups of monkey-like human beings sitting just like that. Just looking around, waiting for some drugs. Thinking it's very powerful.
Has a monkey ever stolen anything from you in India?
Not me personally, but I have definitely witnessed that many times. Many times. I mean, you just learn that everything you're carrying around in India where there are monkeys, you just keep it inside. If they see it, it's gone. And they're very clever. You're just looking like, wasn't I carrying something?
Yeah.
It's like bags of fruit. They're just gone. They're so gone. And one monkey will distract you and the other monkey will come and take you.
No way.
And never wear glasses. Just don't even dream about it. Or a hat. I mean, they just take everything. Whatever is loose, whatever can be taken, it's gone.
Wow,
But
so
usually
they
you can
jump
get
up
it back. But,
They jump up and take your glasses?
oh yeah, love glasses.
I've there many times.
We've seen so many monkeys sitting on top of buildings chewing on glasses. They don't know what it's for, but they definitely want one. But if you can catch them, you can bribe them. You can give them a banana. As far as they know, glasses and a banana are about the same price. Same value. Well, obviously, the banana is more valuable. So you have to, this is how they get money. This is how they get stuff. They steal, and then you have to give them something to get it back. And you can see what kind of human beings they're going to be running the mafia. Jai, page 190. Oh, Jai, Sri Caitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. But they're scared of sticks. I've seen big male monkeys coming down the road. And I'm just like, I'm not challenging him or looking at him. I'm just like putting my stick up and they're I go down an alleyway. This big guy, he could actually just take my head off. But he's like, oh, somehow or other. I've got a lot of monkey stories. Srila Gurudev, one time we went in, because we were staying in, where were we staying? In Vrindavan. I think it was Vrindavan, or maybe it was Govardhan. Anyway, some ladies had just been, some of the devotee ladies had just been complaining to Gurudev about how the monkeys are taking their saris off of the line on the roof where they're being dried and ripping them and passing urine on them and stuff. And Gurudev's, oh yeah. And then when I came in, he said to me, did they want me to go and chase the monkeys away? He said, they're monkeys, they're scared of everything. Just show them a stick. And so the next time I was up on the roof, but I was cooking. It wasn't on the roof really, it was on another kind of, like a porch, like a balcony. And I was cooking something for the sannyasis. And so I'm out there, I've got boga, I've got like vegetables, all kinds of stuff there. And this monkey, and there was this other girl with me, and she had a camera. There is this picture. And the monkeys came with like, nice vegetables. And I stood up like this with my stick, and the monkey jumped off the balcony. And she took the picture of me like this, and the monkey in the midair jumped off the balcony. And I'm like, oh, Gurudev's right. They were like, he was like, I'll take my chances on going down 5 stories rather than, coming up with that thing she's got in her head. Anyway, it was good. I got some good confidence out of that one. Haribo Jai Shri Prapanna Jivanamritan. We're now reading the remnants of nectar. Selected gems. And this is the last chapter. And Srila Guru Maharaj is so generously sharing his own outpouring of his own heart in the glorification of our great Vaishnava Gurus, especially now here Srila Saraswati Thakur, and we read that yesterday. Now, Srimad Bhaktivinoda Viraha Dasakam. Viraha means separation. So this is the outpouring of Guru Maharaj's heart in separation from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Very beautiful. I'm just going to read the English here.
What page?
So in 192.
Okay.
Alas, alas, O Bhaktivinoda Thakur, O Supreme Guru. For 22 years this world has been plunged into misfortune, long grief-stricken in your intolerable separation. You are the divine potency of Sri Gaura. And you graciously made your advent in this earthly plane, being attracted by the living being's virtuous deeds performed throughout many lifetimes. This is the second verse. Since I am lowly and very wretched, it was not my luck to reach the ocean that bestows the fortune of surrender, the ocean of the ecstasy of bathing in a particle of the dust of your holy lotus feet. Yet due to your magnanimous nature, you gave your grace to the whole universe, personally revealing your supereminence as the personification of the mercy potency of Sri Gauranga. That is, by coming into this world, I also received your grace. O Lord, even all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, this is the third verse. O Lord, even all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma feel frustrated in their inability to fittingly sing the glories of all of your divine qualities. What then can be said of the attempt of a fallen soul, a mere human like me? Surely the learned will never waste their eloquent words eulogizing this statement, since even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna himself, has sung in the scriptures his celebrated confession, Na parayeham, I am unable to reciprocate your devotion. So, Guru Maharaj is saying, when even the demigods like Brahma are feeling inadequate to begin to sing your glories, this is not an exaggeration. This is a fact. In comparison to the demigods, or anyone really, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's glories are far beyond that. So he's saying, so what to speak of me? I'm just an ordinary person trying to sing your glories. And the wise persons are not going to say, oh, well said, well said. That's a very nice statement that you've made. He said they won't waste their time glorifying that when Lord Krishna himself is saying, I'm not able. I'm not able to properly glorify you or to properly reciprocate with the quality of divine love of those great Brajabasis in the Madhya Lila. He's saying, I cannot reciprocate with you. I'm not able. So, what to speak of something that I'm going to say is what Guru Maharaj is saying. But of course, his statement is of extreme significance and importance, and is completely pure, and is educating us in these very important things. Number 4.
Devi, I'm sorry for interrupting. In this verse, Guru Maharaj is referring to Lord Shri Krishna himself as Mahaprabhu?
No, Krishna.
Krishna?
Yeah, Krishna is telling the Braja Gopis, I'm not able, I cannot repay you. I don't have the wealth to adequately repay the wondrous quality of your love. It is beyond me. So you please be happy with your own qualities. Because he's saying such a high thing. So Guru Maharaj is saying, when Krishna is saying that, then how will I be able to properly glorify those kind of, that group of whom Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a member? Is it clear? But by this statement, Srila Guru Maharaj is educating the whole world. At that time, number 4, this is verse number 4. At a time when religion was evaluated in terms of bodily relationship. So religion was understood, the value of any particular religious person was based on his birth. That was about it. You're born in a Brahmin family, you're a Brahmin. You're the highest, no matter what kind of person you are. So at that time, when religion was evaluated in terms of bodily relationship, saintliness was determined by ignorance, full ignorance of the personality of Godhead. He can still become a saint. And yoga practice was motivated by sensual pleasure. When scholarship was cultivated just for voidism, you learn the scripture just so that everything becomes nothing. And japa was conducted for the sake of fame. And penance was performed out of vindictiveness, like a kind of hatefulness.
Penance, what is the meaning of penance?
And doing something to atone for life. Penance, there are certain penances that if you've done some wrong, then you do some penance. But often those penances are, they give some strength also. And, but this vindictiveness, this kind of hatefulness, that I will do this and I will conquer this world, all this, like, it's a completely wrong misunderstanding of things. Like, I just want to, this world is a bad place. I'm going to do penances and then I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to get stronger and I'm going to this and that and that. Overtake things which are hated because they create reactions, right? Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to, it's a misunderstanding of everything. And when charity was given out of pride, how famous those, the Catholic Church, for example, and I'm sure it's true of anything, they would, at one time, was so, in the medieval times, and you could say, in medieval Italy, for example, I'm just giving an example, the Medici family was a very prominent family in Italy, and they were demons. I mean, absolute demons. But they would give so much charity to the church because it was they thought they were buying their way out of hell. Mm-hmm. Like buying, And then everybody would admire them. Oh, they built this cathedral, they built that thing, and they were like, yes, we're very holy people. That's an extreme example. But it still can happen. Like, how much money did you give the church today, this week? Oh, I gave this. Oh, you're a great person. I mean, it can happen with little people too. So, these are all things that we also have to look out for. That we are not trying to get some fame or some, recognition or something from anything. But at that time, that was the limit of it. That's what it was done for. Nobody even questioned it. And on the pretext of spontaneous devotion, the most gross sinful acts were perpetrated by the Prakriti Sahajas. Oh, you know, I'm like Krishna and you're like Radha, and we were like, you know, they did the worst things. And in all such anomalous situations, even the intelligentsia were at loggerheads with one another. Nobody could understand anything. At that time, you were sent by the Almighty Creator. Hare Krishna. So I'm going to stop here and we can finish reading these beautiful stanzas tomorrow.
So it was a chaos, and then she
Very chaotic time. Yeah. It was a really chaotic time. I mean, it still is. But because of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we have something, or we don't have, you know, we are being utilized by them to try to give some really perfect, not some, the really perfect absolute reality to everyone. One solution to every single problem in the world is Sharanagati. It is the solution for every problem. And of course, Sharanagati, the book full of those prayers, that was written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The songs and prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur we're singing all the time. And if it weren't for him, I don't even know what the world would look like right now. But it was Mahaprabhu's desire to send such a personality to clean up the line that had gotten so things get vitiated. Vitiated means the tendency of the atmosphere of mundanity is to mess everything up over time. So even the purest teachings, they get like modified into something else, and then that gets worse, and then pretty soon nobody knows anything about anything. It can happen very quickly also. So we're always on our toes about this. Jai Shri Prapanna Jivanamritan ki Jai. Positive and progressive immortality. Progressive means there's life. The life, Bhakatera Prana. Shikaya Sharanagati Bhakatera Prana. It is the life of devotion and the life of the devotees. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Bhakti Rakha Shri Deva Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. May we be utilized by some beautiful person. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Srimati Sridhar.
Gopal Govinda Ram Srimati Sridhar.
Girigari Gopinath Karanama. Chandraju ki jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhanju ki jai, Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Astatar Siddha Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Astatar Siddha Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Shri Radhe Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Caitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki jai, Sannyasi Vrinda ki jai, Nama Acharya Shri Laharidas Thakur ki jai, Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivas Thakur Prabhu ki jai, Sagoswami Prabhu ki jai, Saparshad Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat ki jai, Tadaya Sakamat ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission ki jai, Kolkartal ki jai, Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai, Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi ki jai, Nittai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Oh, is this the Hapaniya festival day? Can you see? I forgot to look, but I seem to remember that was coming up. Today's Thursday, something.
The 20th.
20th?
Yeah, the 20th.
The 20th.
No, there's nothing today. It was the 19th yesterday.
Oh. Jai. So yesterday was Sri Hapaniya Dhamani festival and the installation of their lordships there. Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Gopinath, is it? Asha?
Festival of the appearance place in the restaurant of Sri Goswami Maharaj Sri Pathapanya, grand appearance of the holy deities of Sri Pathapanya, Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Gopinath.
Yeah, right. And this is a beautiful place where Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj appeared. Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dhardev Goswami Maharaj appeared in Hapaniya Dham. It is a wonderfully beautiful, wonderful place which we cannot feel the wonder of it. A little something, maybe something, by the grace of that divine land. When we go there, we went there every year after Gaur Purnima, and Guru Gurudev came several times along with us. Beautiful temple there of Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Radha Gopinath. And this is the day, yesterday was the day that they also made their divine appearance. But great devotees have said that this is an different place of Radha Kund. So we really need to understand this point, that the place of the appearance of those types of Vaishnavas, this is completely divine, not at all mundane place. So we've been remembering Sri Hapaniya Dham with all love and divine obeisances. Nittai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol, Dandavat, Dandavat. Krishna.
Bhima Krishna Prabhu is here.
Ah, Jai Prabhu, Dandavat. Hare Krishna.